Okay, so I turned 20 a month ago and I have thoughts. I have serious thoughts. I truly think being 20 is like such a complex state of being. I don't think I've ever been happier. However, I'm also very confused on who I really am and what I should be. To give context into me, I finished high school in South Africa and I wasn't exactly ready to study. What I decided to do, because I was born in the United Kingdom, was move to London to do like a gap year of sorts and work full time until I kind of made up my mind of what I wanted to study and where I wanted to study. So it's 2 years, almost 3 years later. It's been quite challenging to watch my friends almost be finished with their degrees while I have not even started. And for me, for the longest time, I felt that I was behind in life because ever since I was a little girl, I had like the biggest goals, and a lot of these goals were tied to certain ages, and I thought I would achieve those milestones by those ages. And the harsh reality of growing up is turning those ages and realizing you have not made the progress you thought you would have towards those goals. And that was really tough for me. I would say for pretty much all of 2024, I had been feeling incredibly lost because I was watching all my friends back home pursue these academic degrees, and here I was kind of confused of what I was even doing. And a lot of my confusion stems from the fact I'm a very ambitious person. I have so many little like goals I want to achieve and different life paths I want to go down. I struggle to choose things a lot in life because I just want to do it all. Right up until I turned 20, I was just feeling very heavy constantly. I'm a naturally very positive, very light-hearted person, and feeling lost like really took me out of myself. And I wasn't just lost in terms of life path, I was lost in terms of identity as well. It was just not a good time. And so living abroad while feeling lost and kind of grappling with adult feelings of like loneliness and kind of a dislike of working a job that you really don't care about because you're just trying to make money to pay the bills. Not a fun feeling. So midway through this year, 2024, I made a plan that to just move back home and study in the town I grew up in, move back in with my parents and live an easier life. And I applied for the university, I got in and I was very happy. But then I started telling my like friends and family about this plan. And while my parents were supportive, my family friends, they were very much against me going back to South Africa to study. Initially, I was very hurt by their reaction because I was like, this is what I want to do. But then with more reasoning and more kind of understanding, I realized I did not want to go back to South Africa in the slightest. The only reason I was doing it was genuinely because I was missing the comfort of home. I find life in London extremely hard. It's hard being away from home. I just turned 20. I'm still so young, and most of the other 20-year-olds I know are living at home. They're not on a different continent. And so I realized me going back to South Africa, that was just me wanting to take the easy route out. I didn't want to stick it through with London because I found it hard. And so I was kind of processing other people's reactions to my proposed plan, and I was processing my situation, my relationship with living abroad in London. And I was once again stuck with the plan of, do I stay or do I go? For a while, what made me feel even more lost was getting sucked into this comparison game. I was watching my friends complete their degrees. I was working in a very affluent area and seeing them live a life I so desperately wanted to have, and being so close to it yet so far, it was highly demoralizing because my mindset about everything, all this comparison was completely wrong. I was looking at other people with envy and with self-pity rather than looking at them with kind of inspiration and excitement of what I could build my life to be. And I have not been into spirituality for quite a while. I haven't really had time to dedicate any energy or intention towards that. Started doing a deep dive into all the London universities I've walked past and wondered what it would be like to study there. All the information, started seeing which ones I could qualify for, and I started applying. Now, I don't know where the road's gonna take me, I don't know what's in store for me, but something about this in the moment just felt instantly right. And that was when I knew it was a sign. I have not been spiritual for such a long time, and I don't ever look for signs. I just haven't been doing it. And I have not been looking for signs in the longest time. So when that thing stood out to me as a sign from above, I knew there was something in store for me here and that I had to stay in London. So with all of this, I declined the place in Cape Town and I have decided to stay in the city of London. And when I tell you this is not going to be an easy decision, it is going to be hard. I'm probably going to have to work while I study here, but I know it is going to provide me with the most opportunity than any other scenario. So what I'm getting at is that that it is so incredibly easy to feel lost in your 20s, especially when you're playing a game of comparison, being like, oh, but they're here and I'm back here and life is hard and I just can't do anything, it sucks. It is so easy to get trapped into a negative thought loop. And I have been stuck in one for months, especially watching all the people that I love, admire, look up to, watching them all kind of achieve these great things. I felt so incredibly stuck in where I was until I realized it's actually in my control to change things up. What really stuck out to me during this whole process was my family friends pulling me aside and telling me, Mia, you have so much potential. Why turn away from a great opportunity when it presents itself to you? I have had people tell me my whole life that I was excellent at comforting people, that I was excellent at giving advice. And so I think the experience I've had in the past, but most importantly, the experiences I'm having now of figuring out where exactly I'm going with my life, I think that's a very valuable thing to share. And what I think is so incredibly special is that I want to help other people who are in their 20s as well. I want to help us both build those 20s and navigate through hard feelings and hard situations. I want us to do that together in real time, because when I was feeling so incredibly lost during that transition between 19 and 20, I was on the internet watching videos, I was reading advice from all these well-qualified people, and they had some excellent insight. However, when you read any advice about being in your 20s and being young and making decisions, the advice is always from someone who's always on the other end of the situation. And so I realized there is a gap, the space of someone who's the exact same age, going through the exact same issues and figuring it out in real time and making mistakes and being messy and going off course and then coming back. I want to be that person so other people feel less alone, and so I feel less alone. I hope I can be people's comfort, like a warm hug, and that we can figure it out together, because I'm learning at the exact same time you are. I'm just gonna document my experience so you know you're not alone. I have taken this feeling of being lost, confused, isolated, and I have decided that I'm not feeling these things for no reason, and that I want to use what I'm going through to help people who are going through the exact same thing. And so what the whole premise of what we're building here is going to be, it's going to be you and me figuring out our lives in real time and making the mistakes. And so it has been a process trying to undo all these negative thought patterns, and it is something I'm working on every day. But I just want anyone who's watching to know that it is so okay to be lost in your 20s. And I think majority of people are lost, and some don't want to show it, others don't want to talk about it, but I'm here, I want to talk about it. I'm feeling lost, but I am finding comfort in the fact that I am figuring it out day by day. And recently I've just found that things are just falling into place with me. Things are finally starting to feel right, and I'm excited now for this journey ahead in my 20s. I used to be so scared of turning 20 and disappointed in the fact that I have missed these milestones of what I set out to achieve for myself by certain ages. But now I'm kind of looking at my 20s as this big blank canvas that I have the privilege to fill in with whatever I like. I'm really excited for the journey ahead, and it shows. I've been feeling happier, I sleep better, I have more motivation. I'm just so ready every day to just go after what I want, because I finally feel like it's back in my control, when for the longest time it felt like my life was completely out of my control. And I want everyone to have this feeling and to know that if they're feeling lost, it's completely okay. Because that exploration you embark on when you're lost, it will lead you down various paths, and you'll realize, I don't like doing that, or that makes me feel some type of way. And you keep going about, keep on opening new doors and closing them and finding others, until you eventually start to figure out, okay, I know I like this, I'm good at this, so I think I should do this. And so it is okay to be lost. In fact, I think it is highly beneficial. I think it's so important to just take everything, every preconceived notion you have about you, your life, where you're going, the world around you. I think it's so important to take all of that and just completely disregard it. And that is something you can only really do when you're feeling lost. And so take this feeling of being lost as an opportunity to find something even better for yourself. So I'm excited to see where my 20s go. I want you to be excited to see where yours go. And I think we should figure it out together. I think we should. So hopefully I'll see you soon. And until then, deep breath. It'll be okay. And you got this.